brilliant effort, but a tough end to the game.
Well, a tough beginning, wasn't it? Losing the goal, the deflection shot from the edge of the box. Everett summed up the sort of moment where we are in our games and our schedule. It's probably that doesn't. I think we talked about how do we get the rub of the green and a bit of fortune, and but you have to say they started in top gear, and we made one or two errors that added to the momentum, definitely. So that's something we've got to listen. The warm-ups was good. They were sharp, but they were just in a different gear at that moment, and things really happened really smartly for them. So somehow, some way, the lads have grappled the game back to get 1-1 at half time, and we put Jake on and try to get to a period with 2 up front at the beginning of the second half. And the annoying thing will be is that although that affords them more space in the top line, actually we weren't outnumbered at any point, and so that becomes more or less their end of the lesson a little bit. We should clear, compete, be behind the ball. Maybe the section before that we should deal with that moment a bit better. But that was a real good summary of they took the ball off us when we could have played in to a position in the pitch rather than keep possession. And the other choices that moment hurt us because it's a goal, and the fortune of coming inside and driving the short deflection gives them a super start. But we grappled away to half time and get to 1-1, credit to the boys. So there's a lot of fortitude in there with them.
You must have, you'd be forgiven for fearing the worst when you concede so early on at a place like this. But like you say, the players rallied, stayed in the game, and then nicked a goal.
Yeah, we hung on their coattails, if I'm honest. Hung on their coattails for a period, and then if any annoyance, it comes from what we did with the ball and being slow, slack, unaware, not completing the simple passes. Our passes were, the rhythm of our passing could have been so much nicer and better, but affected by atmosphere and the attitude and aggression of the opposition. But we've got to overcome that. So it was as it should be at this level. And if you want to compete, you've got to be able to handle that, people pressing you and getting your head down. You've got to be aware of where your partner is, protect the ball. If you don't protect the ball, you keep possession because you're smooth. But we turned and just walked up the pitch on too many occasions, rested when we were in possession of the ball, and we don't need that at any point, never mind now.
I think it was 7 changes from the team on Saturday. What was the thinking behind that?
I think really the thinking behind it was, listen, I don't think we've got to find a formula, and the changes were probably definitely three forced by injury. And then once we got to that stage, there was 1 or 2 boys who I wanted to put in the team and see how they did. And I think Perkins is versatile. It's one way to describe him. But I actually think a midfield position is a good one for him. So we see that's where I'd seen him before, and I wanted to put him in there and give him the opportunity and have a bit of experience round about him with Tyrese and Cam, and go from there. Sam, I want to try and be a forward as much as possible, but when he goes and plays as splendid as he did at right wing back second half, it's hard not to have him always in the back of your mind that he's available for that position.
Talk positives, John Guthrie and Kyle Edwards back from injury. Guthrie to start, Edwards off the bench. That's a big boost, especially with the experience that comes with John.
Yeah, moments, and I think the game started at Formula 1 pace, and if anything was going to bring him up to speed, it's certainly that 60-70 minutes that he got. So Connor's taken a good old rap on his ankle and did well to get to half time, if I'm honest. So we'll need to see how he is, but in terms of progression, in terms of making them match fit, good for John, better for John because it's a bit longer period, and Kyle has got he's got real nice quality. He's got a vision. He can get his head up. His control is good, and his link with what we see in training when we get him there is excellent. So we've got to try and bridge him into the team as much as we can.
Colin McAdam's first league start as well. He's never let you down in the cup, and he certainly didn't let you down this evening.
No, when he ends up going in at left centre half for the last period, he's got a wicked cross, hasn't he? And he's got legs, he's got aggression. So he needs a bit of development on that aerial stuff. I think he can do that slightly better. But I like what he's got. And the good thing is he comes out with stats that goal assist, all that type of stuff. He's involved in moments that get us the reward of goals, and that's something that we definitely need.
Back to the league and how things are looking. The gap 7 points now, 1 win in 18 in the league. How do you keep the players in there positive?
Well, you probably leave them alone a wee bit, let them stew, and then the atmosphere that we create at the training ground has got to be one of, as I said before, that don't worry about the failure or the fear of it and anything like that. We've got nothing to lose now. And as we started the game tonight and then get to that point, you can see that they try unbelievably hard. I thought the level of the opposition, the level they played in that first half was excellent, and a very good reminder of us that that's the speed, that's the aggression, that's the quality that we need to compete. And we took a few heavy, deep breaths before we really found our feet in the game. But I can show them moments where we should do so much better with the ball. We should be, we pass and stitch ourselves sometimes. We can find the open man better. We can be nicer, kinder, sweeter with the ball. We shoot a lot at one another instead of having a neater pass. And that's born out of a wee bit of nervousness, probably, and real trust in themselves and the receiving man. So we go back, we do our passing drills, we get aggressive, we do the possessions, and we don't want to be in the sorry state we're in. But we've got to be a little bit brighter and smilier and better in lots and lots of moments. So we can't hide from that. But the level isn't that far away within the squad. But at this moment, we don't get a break. But we've got to give ourselves a break as well.
Is that the frustrating thing? Because you talk about the 7 changes to try and find the right formula, and there are, I would say tonight is an improvement on Saturday, but then the stage of the season you're at, you haven't necessarily got the time to work up to where you need to be.
No, listen, I think we're throwing mud at the wall and see what sticks a wee bit at the minute. But within that, we stick to the principles that we've worked at all season, and we probably, in essence, where we lost the 2 goals, we probably missed the principles that had been drilled in all season. So that's our mistake. So we've got to make sure that the method and the principles of play is adhered to better. And if you do that, you might give yourself a better chance. You've got to get a start in the game, and you've got to be able to you've got to get on the stage and display how good you are. And we're making it very hard to get through the cup at the minute.
Looking ahead to Saturday, Mansfield, do you expect to be leading the side out?
I think there's every chance. Yeah, I think there's every chance. We've got. I don't think anything's going to happen in the next 2-3 days. We've obviously got the postponement of Barnsley, and listen, we've got to be considering what we do. And I can't imagine we're going to jump in or someone's going to pop out and everyone's going to have the thought that he's exactly the right person for the job. So I'll see you on Thursday.
Thank you.